Hey dears, today we are going to start with another chapter from Flamingo book. It is chapter number 4, The Rat Trap, written by Selma Lagerlöf. Before we go into the chapter, let's discuss about the author Selma Lagerlöf. Selma Lagerlöf was a Swedish writer. She was from Sweden. Her stories have been translated in many languages. She is the first woman to win Nobel Prize in Literature. Now, this story is about the essential goodness in a human being can be awakened through understanding and love. By showing love and affection, human goodness can be awakened. And this is love has a transforming power. Love and affection can change any negative person into positivity. Transforming power of kindness. This chapter also shows the negative effects of loneliness and poverty. How the protagonist of this chapter, the main character of this chapter, suffer loneliness all because of poverty, and how negativity comes to his mind and heart. Now let's start the explanation of this particular chapter. This chapter revolves around Swedish mines of Sweden, and how the protagonist, the main character of this chapter, moves here and there in or nearby the mines of Sweden. Sweden is rich in iron ore. The story is told somewhat in the manner of a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale kind of story. Now let's start. Once upon a time, there was a man who went around selling small rat traps of wire. Now, what is rat trap? The title, the rat trap. What is rat trap? Rat trap is a cage material, cage that is used to catch rats. Now, the protagonist, once upon a time, there was a man who went around selling small rat traps of wire. That rat traps made of wire, and the man used to visit here and there selling rat traps. He made them himself at odd moments, and those rat traps were made by him only. He made them himself at odd moments. Odd moments, the moment when we usually get less opportunity for earning. And his odd moments, he used to sell rat traps by visiting here and there. He made them himself at odd moments from the material he got by begging in the stores and at the farms, at big farms. So how he collects wires? He collects wires by begging from big farms and stores, and then he makes rat traps. But even so, the business was not especially profitable. Selling rat traps, selling rat trap business was not that profitable job. So he had to resort means return to. He had to return to both begging and petty thievery. Petty means mean, and he had to return to begging and stealing to keep body and soul together. Body and soul together for his livelihood, for his living, for his survival. For his survival, he had to return to his real business where he can earn, where he can collect many items or collect money. And what is that? Begging and thievery. Even so, his clothes were in rags. He was wearing torn clothes, rag clothes. His cheeks were sunken. His cheeks went deep, and Hunger gleamed in his eyes. In his eyes, one can see the reflection of hunger. No one can imagine how sad and monotonous life can appear to such a vagabond who plods along the road. No one can imagine how sad and monotonous life, boring, tiresome life he was living. No one can imagine how sad and monotonous life can appear to such a vagabond. Vagabond, a homeless wanderer, a homeless person who strolls here and there, who visits here and there. So, to such kind of person, the life is really tiresome and sad. Who plods along the road because he had no shelter, he had to visit here and there, he had to walk here and there. So who plods along the road, left to his own meditation. Meditations here, thinking. He had left to his own thinking because he is lonely. Nobody is there to accompany him in his bedtime. So he left to his own thinking. But one day, this man had fallen into a line of thought. But one day, a thought came to his mind, which really seemed to him entertaining, and that thought seems to be very entertaining for the vagabond, the rat trap seller. He had naturally been thinking of his rat traps when suddenly he was struck by the idea. So he was just thinking about his own rat traps, and that idea, that thought came to his mind, that the whole world about him, the whole world with its lands and seas, its cities and villages, was nothing but a rat trap. So, what thought came to his mind? The entire world, the land, seas, water, cities, villages, the entire world is nothing but a rat trap. It had never existed for any other purpose than to set beds for people. Beds for people, food usually keep to trap others. So the entire world, the world provides nothing but bed to trap people, to attract people and trap them in the greediness of that item or the food. So it had never existed for any other purpose than to set beds for people. It offered riches and joys, shelter and food, heat and clothing. These are luxurious items. Human usually attracted to these luxurious items. So it offered, the world offered nothing but luxurious item. Exactly as the rat trap offered cheese and pork. Exactly the same manner we keep pork, or pork, what is pork? Pig meat. We keep cheese or pork inside the rat trap so that the rat would come and be trapped. So exactly as the rat trap offered cheese and pork, as soon as anyone let himself be tempted to touch the bed, it closed in on him, and once someone attracted to it, someone tempted to it, someone greed to it and reached to the particular luxurious item, then it closed down, and then there would be no way of get out of it, no way of coming out of the rat trap. So as soon as anyone let himself be tempted to touch the bed, it closed in on him, and then everything came to an end, and then one cannot get out of that cage. One would be trapped inside it. That negative thought came to his mind, came to the rat trap seller's mind, because he was lonely in the world. negativity revolves around him. So he thought negative about the world. The world had of course never been very kind to him, so it gave him unwanted joy, unusual. So it gave him unwanted joy to think ill of it in this way. So the world was, the entire world, the people were not so kind to him. So thinking bad about them, he felt no bad thinking about them. So it gave him unwanted joy to think ill of it in this way. It became a cherished pastime of him. Cherished pastime of him, favorite time of him. It became the favorite time of him, thinking about that thought. It became a cherished pastime of his during many dreary ploddings. Dreary means sad or gloomy, and ploddings means visiting, walking. So during many dreary ploddings, to think of people he knew who had let themselves be caught in the dangerous snare. Snare means trap. So he started thinking about the people he knows. Those people are trapped, already trapped in the trap, by attracted to the luxurious item, and of others who were still circling around the bed, and other people were about to be trapped. They are greedy. They are coming closer to be trapped. One dark evening, as he was trudging along, walking, tired and walking. So one dark evening, as he was trudging along the road, he caught sight of a little grey cottage by the roadside. When he was really tired that evening, and he was walking along, and that time he saw a dark grey cottage by the roadside. At the roadside there was a small cottage, and he knocked on the door, and he reached to the door and he knocked. He knocked on the door to ask shelter for the night, and he knocked at the door and asked for shelter for that night. Nor was he refused, and when he requested for shelter for that night, he was not refused, but the request was accepted. So nor was refused. Instead of the sour faces which ordinarily met him, the owner's face was a sour face, means not happy face. But instead of the sour faces which ordinarily met him, the owner, who was an old man without wife or child, and the owner of that cottage was living alone without his wife or child, was happy to get someone to talk in his loneliness. He became really happy. The owner of that cottage was living lonely life without wife and child. So when he found somebody for accompany him, he became really happy. Was happy to get someone to talk in his loneliness. Immediately he put the porridge pot on the fire and gave him supper. So then he placed that pot on the fire and gave him supper, night meal. Then he carved off means cut a slice. Then he carved off such a big slice from his tobacco roll. He cut a slice that it was enough both for the stranger's pipe and his own, and for that night it was enough for him and for his visitor's pipe. Finally, he got out an old pack of cards and played Mojelis. So finally, he got out an old pack of playing cards, and they started playing Mojelis with his guest until bedtime. Before they sleep. They played long time for the game, Mojelis. The old man was just as generous with his confidence as with his porridge and tobacco. That owner of the house, the owner of the cottage, was really a kind and generous fellow. The guest was informed at once that in his days of prosperity, his host had been a crofter. Now, what is crofter? Crofter who owns a small farm. So he told, the owner of the house told that once he was a crofter. He was the owner of a farm at Ramsjo Iron Works. At Ramsjo Iron Works, he had farms and he was the crofter and had worked on the land, and he was working on the land when he was a crofter. Now that he was no longer able to do day labors, now he is old and he is not able to do the labor. It was his cow which supported him. It was his cow who supported him doing all the work. Yes, that Bossy was extraordinary. Bossy means that cow only. So yes, that Bossy was extraordinary. How extraordinary? It was a profitable animal for the crofter. She could give milk for the creamery. Creamery means butter factory. So she could give enough milk for the creamery every day, and last month he had received all the 30 kroner. Kroner, its currency. And last month he had received all the 30 kroner in payment. So he earned, all because of that cow, he earned 30 kroner last month. The stranger must have seemed incredulous, for the old man got up and went to the window. And the crofter, when he told that he was a crofter and his cow was really helpful, as last month the cow earned him 30 kroners, and that particular time the red tape seller seemed to be doubtful. Incredulous means disbelieving. So when he found him doubtful, he got up and went to the window. The crofter got up and went to the window, took down a leather pouch, and he brought a leather pouch from that window, nearby that window, which hung on a nail in the very window frame, and nearby the window frame it hung, the pouch, leather pouch was hung, and picked out 3 wrinkled 10 kroner bills, and he brought out 3 folded 10 kroner bills. These he held up before the eyes of the guest, and he brought that bill and shown it to the red tape seller, nodding knowingly, and so look, this is what the bill, and then stopped back into the pouch, and once again after showing it to the doubtful red tape seller, again he kept that bill inside the pouch. The next day both men got up in good season. Good season means early morning. So now the next day both got up early in the morning. The crofter was in a hurry to milk his cow. He went to milk his cow to bring out milk, and the other man probably thought he should not stay in bed when the head of the house had gotten up. And when the red tape seller found the owner of the house is already got up, he thought that it is not good to be in the bed, so he also got up. They left the cottage at the same time, and after that the rat trap seller also left the house and the crofter went for milking the cow. They left the cottage at the same time. The crofter locked the door and put the key in his pocket. So the crofter locked the door of that house or cottage and put the key into his pocket. The man with the rat traps said goodbye and thank you. The man, the rat trap seller, also said goodbye and thank you. And thereupon each went to his own way. And thereupon each one left to his own way, moved to their own way. But half an hour later, the rat trap peddler stood again before the door. Half an hour after, the rat trap seller again came to that cottage and stood in front of the door. He did not try to get in, however. He didn't try to get in through the door. He only went up to the window, smashed a pen, stuck in his hand, and got hold of the pouch with the 30 kroner. So he didn't try to get into the house. What he did? He remembered where the crofter used to keep that 30 kroner rupees, that pouch, in that pouch. So he straight away went to the window, smashed a pen glass of that window, stuck in his hand, and got hold of the pouch with the 30 kroner and hold that pouch, and there he found 30 kroner kept inside the pouch. He took the money and thrust it into his own pocket. He took that 30 kroner and kept it in his pocket. Then he hung the leather pouch very carefully back in its place and went away. And then what happened? After taking that 30 kroner, he hung that leather pouch once again where it was hung. As he walked along with the money in his pocket, he felt quite pleased with his smartness. And when he got the money kept inside his pocket and started moving on the road, he thought of himself. He thought of his smartness, how smartly he had done. He was really happy. He realized, of course, that at first he dare not continue on the public highway, as he had stolen the money. He should not move on the public highway. It is not safe. It is really risky to go on public highway. He could be caught at any time by moving on the public highway, but must turn off the road into the woods. But he should stay away from the public highway, public road, and move towards the woods. Woods means jungle road, forest road. During the first hours, this caused him no difficulty. So during the first hour of the journey into the forest, it was not difficult. He was moving very easily and happily. Later in the day it became worse, but later it became really difficult to move on. For it was a big and confusing forest which he had gotten into, and that forest was really confusing, like maze. He tried to be sure to walk in a definite direction, and after that he made it very sure that which direction he is going. But the paths twisted back and forth so strangely, but that way was twisted backward and forward. Wherever he was going, it was twisted. He walked and walked without coming to the end of the wood, but wherever he was going, he found no ending to it. It was really twisted like a maze. And finally he realized that he had only been walking around in the same part of the forest. And later on he realized that he is just strolling. he is just moving to that particular place only. It is moving round and round in the same place. All at once he recalled his thoughts about world and the rat trap, and at that moment when he found no way to get out of the forest, he thought of his own thought, what he had made earlier, that the entire world is nothing but a rat trap. Every luxurious items are there to attract people and trap people, and now it is his turn. By greediness he trapped himself. Now his own turn had come. Now it is his own turn to be trapped, all because of greediness. He had let himself be fooled by a bait and had been caught. So he had been fooled himself by that bait, by that tempting item, and now he had been caught. He had been caught in that bait, in that trap, and there is no way to get out of it now. The whole forest, the entire forest, with its trunks and branches, its thickets and fallen logs, closed in upon him like an impenetrable prison from which he could never escape. Impenetrable means that cannot be penetrated, that cannot be entered. So now he is inside the jungle, he is moving round and round. Now he lost in that forest, he got no way to get out of it. Now he felt that it is like a prison. It is like a prison where no one can enter, but it is a prison one cannot get out of it.